Welcome back to the Pioneers Sideline. Baseball team was in action. So was the softball team. They were in action. They were trying to continue their winning streaks as well. Let's take a look and see how they did in this past week, as they also had a very important couples series over this past weekend. Pioneers were going to battle IU Southeast and Berea both at home, but they had a few games to take care of before that. Carlo being one of them, and Kyle, as we bring on our analyst here, Kyle Anthony. They played Carlo on Tuesday. They won both those games 5-3 and an 8-7. You see they lose both games on Saturday to Indiana Southeast. Indiana Southeast, one of the best softball teams in the KIAC there, Kyle. But they take care of business at home against their conference rival in Carlo. And Carlo, that's not just so much a conference, that's an inner-city rivalry that goes back to the old AMC conference. Kyle, when you play a team such as Carlo and you defeat them in a doubleheader, both close games, how much does that really help your team moving forward?
I mean, it helps your team a lot because it's a rivalry game. It's a game that you want to win. It's a game you have to win. I mean, it's for bragging rights to the city, conference, everything. I mean, winning a conference game, especially a city game, does a lot for momentum too.
Now, the momentum wasn't able to carry over there. They were going against a very tough Indiana University Southeast team there, Kyle, a team that beat them earlier in the season. So the Pioneers really just have not had their chances against Indiana University Southeast. But they needed to recover fast because they had a quick turnaround and would play Berea on Sunday. How big is that for a team to turn around and really change that momentum and try to get a winning attitude in their mouth?
It's a big thing. I mean, you have to do that because if you don't get that going, you'll be in deep slumps, and then instead of losing 2 games, you end up losing 4, then 6. So, I mean, being able to hop right back up is good for your team, and it also helps you build momentum going on. It shows how tough you really are.
Now, the Pioneers were in action Sunday against Berea College. Let's take a look and see how the Pioneers did against the Berea Mountaineers. They needed to respond quickly and get themselves back into that KIAC dominance. We take a look and see what they did there. Pioneers win a close one, 12-11. Teresa Davis goes 3 for 5, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Amanda Ardinger, 2 for 4, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Kelsey Robertson, the big ace pitcher who's slowly getting herself back into the lineup. We'll talk about her in a little bit more here, Kyle. Goes 3 innings, 3 hits, gives up 4 runs, all earned, but does have 4 strikeouts. Now, Kyle, she does, Robertson is the ace of this team, but she's slowly trying to get herself back into this lineup and really carry this team, especially with KIAC tournament approaching just a few weeks down the road.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely needs to get herself there because she's been on this team before. She's done this before. And it helps when a veteran player is able to kind of get themselves going. I mean, it would have helped more if she was started at the beginning of the season hot, being able to build on the momentum. But as a veteran player, she was able to start off slow and able to build her momentum to where now you're going to a conference tournament and she's ready to play.
Now, we've seen all season the bats may get done for the Pioneers as well as the pitching from time to time. This was another one of those cases. The pitching may not have been there in the best numbers, but the bats were there. Does that worry you at all a little bit, Kyle, that the Pioneers, they have these moments where they can really light up the scoreboard, but they let the other team do the same thing in these same games?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely concerning. I mean, hitting's a great thing, but to be a great team, you have to have both of them, and you have to have both of them at the same time. You can't go 3 innings where you're going to pitch bad, but you're going to score 7 runs. You can't do that consistently, or you'll lose games, and you'll get in a mindset to where you always know you're going to be down.
Now, the Pioneers, they'd play one more game against Berea on Sunday as well. Let's take a look and see how the Pioneers did in this one. The Pioneers would also come away victorious and win another close one, 5-3. Ashton Moran goes 2 for 4, 2 runs, 4 RBIs. Guffey, 2 for 3 on RBI. Zelenka, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned, but 6 strikeouts. And the other thing in both these games, Kyle, the Pioneers, they were trailing at one point, but they came back and won. So how big is that to not only win these games against a conference rival, but to go down and find a way to dig deep and come out with a big win?
It's definitely really good when you're able to come from behind because it shows your team's tough. It shows that they never give up. That's what we've seen in this Berea series. They were able to do that and get some victories.
And now moving forward, the Pioneers, they have a few more conference games there. But you see, they're able to win the close games, Kyle. And we were just talking about they were able to come back. How big is it for them to be able to win these close games? It doesn't have to be a blowout fashion. Like we saw in the beginning of the season, there was lots of games they may only have won just because of pure blowouts. How big is it for them to be able to, once again, dig deep and win the close games gritty down to the wire?
I mean, it's big because not every game is going to be blowout, as you said. I mean, there's going to be a lot of games where you're going to have to fight, claw, scratch, just to get back into the game or to keep the lead and sustain it. So it definitely shows how far your team can go and what they can do.
Thanks, Kyle, for the softball analysis there, but you're not going to be going anywhere. We're going to take a look at the road ahead for the baseball and softball teams. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Pioneers Sideline.